We're back with more quick tips on Joyrider TV. Yeah, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and we're just going to take a look at some more quick tips from around the boat park here at Wild Wind in Vasiliki. Okay, for our next tip, we're going to have a look at jib setup. So the options that we've got when setting up the jib is where to put the tack of the jib on the chain plate here, and where to put the clew of the jib. These two things are going to be quite directly related. So on the tack of the jib, we want to put this either, it's on the second hole here, but I would generally go third hole on the tack. The lower that we put the tack, the more it's going to close the foot of the sail and open the leech. As we put it higher up, we're going to get a tighter leech. So the leech is the back edge, so a tighter leech and a more open foot. What we're looking for ideally is to have it fairly even between the foot and the leech, and that's what 2 or 3 on the tack will give us. Then on the clew, so the fitting on a Hobie 16 jib has got 5 holes. The reason that it's got 5 holes, the main reason, is that if this corner of the sail came to a point, it would be too long and you wouldn't be able to sheet in. So this 5-hole plate shortens the distance there, so then you can get the correct amount of tension. The holes we'll either go for is the middle hole or 1 hole down if it's windy. Okay, so what we're going to do is for moderate conditions or light conditions, we're going to put the jib sheets in the middle hole, or for strong conditions, we're going to put it 1 hole down. And what that's going to do is open up the leech in the sail a bit and take away some of the power and reduce the effect of back winding on the mainsail. So, just going to put the jib sheets on, and because it's going to be windy this afternoon, I'm going for middle hole, sorry, 1 hole down on the clew there. And then what we find is a good idea here at Wild Wind is we'll tighten that shackle up with some pliers or a shackle key, just to make sure that that's not going anywhere. Thank you very much. Okay, so for our next tip, we're just going to take a look at wind indicators on the boat. So it's very important to have some wind indicators on the bridle wires of the boat. And what we're using here is, this is actually videotape. We used to use cassette tape, but then we upgraded to videotape. So we're basically taking an old VHS video, smashing it up, extracting the tape, and then we'll cut a length of tape off here, and you can either tie it to the bridle wire using a clove hitch knot, or tie it on and put some tape on there as well if you are really concerned. Okay, so tying the telltale on with a clove hitch, we just go round that way, pull it tight gently, because this stuff will snap, and there we go. And then you know which way to go on the downwind. I've made that one a little bit too short. Here's one I made earlier, which was the right length. That is approximately, I think total length, a foot. Okay, for our next tip, we're over in the F18 park, and with the downhaul, what we can do, and what we have done here, is we've just taken a piece of elastic to the top downhaul block, and we've tied it up to the diamond wire. Now what that means is that your downhaul rope, when it's not attached to the sail, which will be some of the time of course when it's not rigged, is going to be looking fresh, stretched out, and not in a tangled mess. And believe me, that helps, and it helps you to feel good about your boat. Okay, so for the next tip, hoisting the mainsail on the F18, we've started doing this like on the Tornado. So what we're going to do is take the halyard from the entrance of the mast track, and this means if you're having to do this alone, you can feed the sail in and pull it up on your own. So we'll just introduce the sail into the mast track, hook on one side, halyard on the other side, the other part of the halyard definitely inside the mast, and then we can pull it up and feed it in simultaneously, which is very easy. Also, this reduces wear to the sheave wheel at the bottom of the mast. It's a win-win. If at any time it's getting sticky, just check that the sail lines up with the mast. If it doesn't, just rotate the mast a little bit. Mast rotating, and then it goes up so easily. See how easy that is? And then when we get to the top, we'll just take a look up the mast. We can see the hook. We'll push the mast round so we can't see the hook, and then we just put the mast the other way to check. Ta-da! Thank you very much. Okay, for the next tip, the Spinnaker blocks on your catamaran. You should be using pressure ratchet Spinnaker blocks. That means that when you're sheeting the Spinnaker, the ratchet will engage, but then when you go for a jibe or dropping the Spinnaker, there'll be no ratchet, which will allow the Spinnaker sheet to come out easily and not restrict the sail from where it wants to go. That's a good tip. So thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful and informative, and you can take something away from what you've seen here today. Thanks once again to everybody who's been supporting the channel, whether that's through Patreon. If you'd like to support the channel through Patreon, just check out the link in the description below, and you can really help to support the channel. If you like the videos that I'm making here, then it's just a way of you giving a little bit back, which is nice, and it makes me feel appreciated. Otherwise, if you're not in the position to do that, just hit the like button, make sure you have subscribed, and just stay tuned, ready for the next one. So thanks very much. Thanks very much.